India can take the batting power play. It's got that fine. Pushed by Lee into the boundary. Well, he can't believe it. Desperate effort. I think he's hurt himself here as well. And the boundary here for the Indians. It's waiting on it, Yuvraj.
Shane Watson opting for the bouncer. Brett Lee getting a nasty bounce, kicking up and hitting him in the side of the face, I think. Certainly has, yeah, and it's just cut him above his right eye. There it is. Just an awkward bounce, and it's come up and hit him just above the right eye. It's just leaving the field. Sure, he'll be fine to come back and bowl. Get patched up by the physio.
Gets a single. His fourth half-century in this competition, and his magnificent run in this World Cup continues. 54 balls it's taken under extreme pressure, and it also brings up the 50-run partnership.
It's been a superb knock, shown a lot of maturity.
Raina goes for the big one. That is a terrific strike for 6. 16 required with that hit. It was pitched in his half, and he's given it the full Monty.
Well, we've seen this before in the IPL, and now we're seeing it in the World Cup. Raina stepping up to the plate and hitting a huge 6 over mid-on, going well back into the crowd. Terrific hit.
What a strike. Length ball dismissed with utter disdain. And now the sensible cricket. So India on the home stretch. Remember, this is the quarter-final of the World Cup. That's a magnificent strike just a little while ago on the surface.
I think that's been the tale of the World Cup for the Australian side, is that the spinners haven't had the ability to take wickets in the middle of the innings, and we've seen a number of tracks turn and been handy for spin bowlers, but the Australian spin attack, Smith, Frazier, the part-time spin of Hussey and Clark, haven't really taken the wickets that Ricky Ponting has needed.
Oh, excellent Yorker. Might have just taken the outside edge, but it's bounced. Still giving it his all, Brett Lee here. Getting reverse as well. In fact, getting the outside edge. That was bang on target, heading towards off stump. Ricky Ponting here, hoping for a stroke of luck. He's tucked around the corner, and he's tucked it fine for 4. Well, the countdown begins at 250 for India. And India need 11.
Beautifully played by Raina, just getting inside that short delivery. And just gliding it very fine, playing it late to get that angle fine to beat the fine leg fieldsman who's a little wide. And the crowd are pumped. And why wouldn't they be? Over 40,000.
He's got that fine, there is third man. Just 10 needed. And he's played his part, Suresh Raina. And the Indian think tank will be saying that it was a masterstroke playing him. It would have been hard. Should we drop Yusuf? Wide will be the signal. 7 needed from 20. Again, excellent placement. Another couple of runs, and he's doing it nicely here, Suresh Raina. 11 off this over. It's 257 for 5. Again, was looking to work it away. It was on middle and leg. The opportunity was there. And he can afford to take his time. And still 15 balls to go. And They've all waited till the end. No one has left their seat. It's been that kind of a contest. See the Chief Minister even still sitting, enjoying it. He's got that through, nailed it through the offside, and it's an emphatic win for India. Yuvraj Singh finishes things it off, and India into the semi-final of the World Cup. Australia out of the competition.
50 for Misbah, who's striking the ball quite brilliantly.
Well, he's keeping Pakistan interested in this run chase. 31 now required from 10 balls. Can they do it?
It's back. There's a complete rethink about the field now. Mid-on and mid-off have gone back, as has deep mid-wicket. Everybody's up on the offside because they figure that's the hardest place to hit a six. Nobody back square on the leg side, though. The ball is drilled down the ground, but there's no run from it. So now it is a six off every ball.
Well, now the crowd realise that 99.9% India are in the final of the World Cup 2011 at home. It's the third time they'll get there. They won it once, but let's face it, India were playing at home. They were expected to make it to the final from the outset, and they've handled the pressure magnificently. And what a contest that will be, India-Sri Lanka.
Oh, he simply can't get it. He cannot get it. This is a dreadful way for the game to end in a cloud of anti-climax. India so desperately want to begin their celebrations.
Got to also question the tactics from Pakistan.
Oh, that's gone miles in the air. Miles in the air, and it's caught! India have won! A place in the World Cup final is theirs. Let the party begin.
Have a look at those scenes. It's simply magnificent. Match watched by the two Prime Ministers. And you had all sorts here, politicians, bureaucrats, heavyweight corporates, and people from all sections of society. And they've enjoyed a tremendous contest here. A big-ticket game that's really gone the way of the home team. So India go to Mumbai to play against Sri Lanka. And what a match that will be. It'll be the first time where you have two Asian teams playing in a World Cup final.
That he wanted desperately, and Dhoni and Yuvraj trying to make sure that India achieves that collectively for the country, for the team, but certainly also for Sachin Tendulkar. Down the ground! Has that gone the distance? It has! India has won. Yes! A huge win here by 6 wickets for India. They beat Sri Lanka in the World Cup final, and the new champions are crowned. 28 years to the day, India are the new World Cup champions of cricket. And once again, it's the man with the Midas touch, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who's done it for India. Huge hit down the ground, unbeaten in 91. Scenes of joy in the Indian dressing room, scenes of joy at Wankhede, and I'm sure scenes of joy around the country as India lift the ICC World Cup 2011. And who would have imagined, after the early loss of those 2 wickets, that India would romp home by 6 wickets, chasing successfully only for the 3rd time in the history of World Cup. A distraught Sangakkara, and probably the most distraught Muralitharan. But sadly, it has been a send-off to Muralitharan that will leave this great bowler with a sense of deprivation. But he should be satisfied that his team put up a good show. Sangakkara, a proud man, coming back to the pavilion, a wry smile, and this man who had his cupboard space reserved for the one trophy which had eluded him, now has that trophy. Well, they definitely earned it. Had the Indians. Fantastic performance, clinical towards the end. Scenes of joy, unparalleled. Some of them have been there before, on the verge back in 2003. Just narrowly missing out when they lost to Australia, but all of that has been put to rest today. Sachin, Ramesh Tendulkar, all the records that he's had written against his name, in front of his name. This was the one thing missing. You'd say it's a dream come true. Winning the World Cup at Mumbai, his home ground. It's destiny fulfilled for the little master. 21 years, 21 long years in international cricket without the coveted crown. But he has it now, and so do India after a gap of 28 years. It's been a team performance. Sachin Tendulkar, Virendra Sehwag, the man with the golden touch, Yuvraj Singh, they've all contributed. Virat Kohli has played his part. Don't forget Gautam Gambhir with the knock he played today and a couple of half centuries that he had in the tournament earlier. But Muttiah Muralitharan spare a thought for him as well. Last international, overcome with emotion as he makes his way to the dressing room.
It must be admitted that he was a pale shadow of the once great bowler, and to an extent I think that has paved or made India's task easier. It's a fantastic win by India. 275 in a World Cup final is not easy to chase. They did it with a degree of comfort which is quite amazing. Emotions running high, and these are tears of joy.
It's only the third time that you've had a side chase and win a World Cup final. That in itself makes it special. And the way India have done it convincingly, hats off to them. But contrasting emotions. If it's joy at one end, it's despair at the other.
Never in the history of a World Cup final has a guy scored 100 and ended up losing. What a magnificent innings Dhoni has played. Two captains now, if ever there was one.
We had the heroes of 1983. We've got a new bunch of heroes being made now. And these moments are going to be etched in history. It's been a long time coming. But really, we've got to say this, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, there really isn't a crown that he hasn't been a part of as a team. You know, winning the T20 competition in 2007, now captaining the Indian team to a win in the 2011 50-over edition. Well, he's been there, done that. Number one side in Test match cricket with him as captain, always knocking on the door, and at times very fleetingly, reaching number one in one-day cricket as well. It's been an unbelievable journey for him too.
And you know why? He showed it by his move to promote himself. A lot of captains would have preferred to play the waiting game, not him. He's come out
Gautam Gambhir
to a
here with me.
magnificent
Gautam, just react to the
reception,
situation.
and he deserves it.